everything, you know what I mean? Nothing's good, what's good. To be honest, we're going to be doing a tutorial on how to draw a mouth. Pretty much how to draw a mouth. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a video of another person drawing it, and you get to, you know, read along, look along, and see how it's done and everything like that. She'll explain everything, all that kind of stuff. She's a wonderful artist. In fact, way better than me, to be honest. And also, yo, at the end of the day, you get to see her work. You get to also subscribe. I'm putting her stuff in the box down below, you know, to subscribe to her channel as well, and everything like that. I don't know the person. I'm just saying I don't know the person, but I'm just saying the person is a very excellent artist at what she does, and she explains it detail to detail, perfectly fine. Sometimes, you know, this video is gonna be interesting because I already drew partial of what, you know, you're supposed to be doing. You're gonna see this is what you're gonna have to do. No joke. It's gonna be a minute. It's gonna be a while. If you don't know how to get it done, you're gonna have to do a lot of things. And trust me on that, you're gonna love the end result. You're gonna love it. So, no further ado, let's get into this video. I'm gonna find my controller. Yeah, let's get into this video.
Hey, I'm Darlene, and you're watching a rapid fire art tutorial. In this video, I'll cover my method for drawing a smile with teeth, step by step.
I don't know if you can see it. Shouldn't be able to.
I'll be using a smooth drawing paper, a single HB pencil, a plastic eraser, a kneadable one for precision erasing, a soft tissue, and a homemade blending stump. You can find out how to make one in the description. Let's get started. First, we'll need some construction lines. Start by lightly drawing a shape that resembles a slice of watermelon. In case you're curious, here are the dimensions of mine. Next, draw a line down the very center. To each side of your watermelon, draw a slanted line to mark the boundary for the teeth. The next step is to draw a guideline or boundary line for the top row of teeth. I want the top row of teeth and gums to be as visible as possible, so I'm going to draw my guideline all the way down here. If you want some of the bottom teeth to show, draw an additional guideline below that curves up at the ends. The next step is to draw the top and bottom lip. Let's start with the top lip, drawing it along this line. I'm going to create a shape that dips down at the center. And then it comes up through the guideline toward the corner of the mouth. And then I'm just going to bring my stroke down at the very end. Now draw the other side in a similar way. For the lip's top edge, I'm starting at the center, drawing a somewhat shallow curve, and as I reach out toward the corner of the mouth, I'm tapering the shape, making it more narrow. Once you're done, erase the construction lines inside the lip. Next, draw the bottom lip while using the bottom of your watermelon shape as a rough guideline. Taper the end. To make the bottom lip look more realistic, let's tweak the upper edge so the form looks less rigid. All we're going to do is bring the sides in very slightly. It's a very small change, but it makes quite a big difference. Let's draw the top row of teeth next. There are two ways to approach this. The first approach is easy.
And that was fast.
For this example, let's focus on the right hand. We're going to section this whole area into 5 spaces, making sure the front tooth is the widest. I'm making mine about 1/3 of the space. And then as you work your way out to the side of the mouth, the sections should become narrower and narrower. There are more teeth along the side, but they are hidden from view. These are just general guidelines. If you want, you can adjust the angle or width of each tooth so it fits your preference. If you're happy with the spacing and angle, draw a mirror image on the left side. You can do this by using a ruler to measure each section. Once the guidelines are in place, you can then draw each tooth without worrying about running out of space or accidentally drawing them the wrong size. Tooth height can vary a lot, so I'll leave that part up to you.
Oh yeah, I actually kind of messed up on the tooth
After
part.
you draw the top row, the bottom row will be a lot easier to draw. You won't need to make any guidelines because you can use the top row as a reference. For example, the lower 2 front teeth.
I'm not gonna lie, I might have to pause that because of the fact that you can't see it. Anyways, 2, she is doing it. This is a quick tutorial. She's doing it really quickly, just to make sure that you guys know what you're doing, and you gotta listen really quickly to figure stuff out. You can pause the video, no joke, anytime you feel like. You can pause the stuff. You can actually change into it. You can go and do what you need to do. And matter of fact, this is me telling me. This is me talking to you, so you actually have the chance to be like, all right, good. He's giving us a chance to be able to do this right here. He's giving us a chance to actually draw the picture and also get up to the point where I'm at right now. I already drew the picture ahead of time because she talks so bloody fast. Not necessarily fast, but she does the video so quickly. It's kind of difficult for you to actually get up to, up to snuff. So within doing that, I'm gonna just keep on drawing, and also while you're doing your thing, hopefully you got up to my point too. Because I'm near the teeth area, you know what I mean, where she's talking about right now. I'm actually near that area because I already drew what I needed to draw the first 20 minutes or so. Which ain't a bad, which is not a bad thing. Taking my time. You need to take your time. If you don't take your time, you're going to look like what, the fuzz and all your stuff. That's one thing also, when you get into the teeth area, it has to be like you're walking upstairs. Like you're literally the teeth itself, I feel like you're literally walking upstairs to the gum, into the part where the mouth is at. Which, technically, she did not say, per se. But, just letting you know that's what you gotta do. If you want to, you can change it, you can switch it up. The lips, I'm talking about top of the face area, you can do that. You can make it more lower so you can actually see where your stuff is going to be at. You can use a ruler if you need to as well for this step, because this is going to be some big teeth. I ain't gonna lie, there's going to be some big ass teeth. We're going to make this a little bit lower so it doesn't look like a huge ass bloody teeth, because it's awkward as hell. I can say now, oh wow, you fellas looks beautiful, but why are the teeth so huge? It's like you trying to smile a little too much, my guy, with the fuzz. Nah, but at the end of the day, that's how it's supposed to look. Okay. You can always adjust it to the length of the lips and what have you. You know, adjust that. So and erase things so you know actually it's the right length and everything. That's the only thing that I'm worried about right now, mainly. Because the teeth, it's nice. To be honest, teeth is fun. It's easy to get done. I did not really I didn't really notice that the teeth were pretty much freaking easy to do. When you think about it and you look at it and you're like, oh my god, teeth so hard to get done. Oh, I hate doing teeth. Oh, nah. Okay, I'm done with that. But it's like, yo, teeth are easy as hey to do, you know? I don't, because I'm not. But the teeth are amazing, easy to do. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's so fun. Like going down and having a good time. But yeah, you know your guideline on the bottom, so you gotta keep that. What I'm talking about is this. If you see where I'm at with that, see the guideline. You gotta keep with that on the bottom area. That's where your teeth. I mean, that's where your tooth is gonna be at. But you get to vary how big your teeth are gonna be, so on and so forth. Like she said earlier, you can vary how big your gums are gonna be, how big your teeth are gonna be. I'm probably gonna cut that in half because my teeth are pretty big. My teeth are huge when you think about it. Like, goddamn, like, she just get drinks like man. The sharp hairs. Why? You fuck back. That's fine. I don't know why I started left, right, from left to right, which is actually easier if you think about it. If you're a righty, if you're a right-hander, start from the left to right. Okay, left to right when you're drawing something because you don't want the shading. If you're doing shading, you don't want the shading to bleed into the picture as you're doing. As a matter of fact, you might want to use some paper or something over your hand if you don't have a certain type of guard or glove over your hand. Pretty much, you want to do that. Me, I don't have any paper, so I'm not gonna do technically that per se at this moment. But oh, but if I need to, I can if I want to. I need to. But I don't have to. You don't have to if you need to, but you can if you want to. Just now, at the end of the day, I say that a lot. You're just gonna have to 1, 2, 3, 4. Matter of fact, you might want to count how many times you do the damn tooth. You don't want to, out of nowhere, build another tooth. Create another freaking tooth and all of that. Almost cause, you didn't hear me. No, you didn't hear me. I didn't. No. So, what I'm gonna do? Kind of made too many lines. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 teeth. My goofy ass made way too many teeth. That can happen too sometimes. You got to do your measurements correctly, which can help you get your teeth done correctly. I kind of had to take a line off because it was an extra line, 2 extra lines that I didn't need technically. So I took those off. You'll see in a few seconds. I'm gonna show you real quick. You don't have to actually go up to the line where she says per se. You can make your teeth as big or as small as you need to. Um, yeah. Have fun with it. Sometimes you need to have fun with have fun with your teeth and make it a little gap, a little guard. Yeah, you'll see what I mean when I tell you. I'll show you. And you're just gonna have fun with it. Okay. So you know what I was talking about, what I had to change, and what I had to see, what I did with the face right there, with the big with big teeth. How you doing? Yeah. The teeth going back and forth. Oh my God, this is big teeth. I'll play. I'm done. I'm done. Uh, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna start the video because y'all should be up to the point where I'm at right now. If you're not,
are a bit more than half the width of the upper tooth. And then the rest of them are about the same width as the first two. To make the rest of this example as clear as possible, I'm going to fully expose each tooth. Alright, so teeth along the side of the mouth appear to overlap each other when viewed from this angle. So drawing guidelines for these teeth would probably add more confusion. So I think it's better to draw these.
It is confusing. I'm not even up to that point yet. Okay, I apologize for starting the video up again because apparently I'm not even up to that point. You know, doing what she's talking about with the whole teeth and everything. I'm not even up to that point. You can't tell, but you can kind of tell where she at with the little thingy on the side and all of that. But I'll show you when I get finished with mine. Bruh, I thought this would be like pretty easy when it comes down to doing these damn teeth. I didn't cuss, I said damn. Not a cuss word. What? Don't hold me on to that. Moms be like, now do you hear him saying what he's trying to say that that's not a cuss word. You don't know what that means. It is a cuss word. Just don't know. Little boy. Last Cleveland. So I forgot to do also Cleveland Browns was that. Oh, I'm Cleveland. Oh, hi. Hey, everybody. Yeah, I'm Cleveland Browns. And all the damn time doing where my voice sounds kind of funny and stuff. Which I'm gonna do a video about how to do Cleveland Browns voice. Okay. But yeah, and she's doing it quickly. Way she was set up, she was doing that shit real fast. It's like, yo, bro, man, break it down for her brother for a minute, you know? Don't hate on brother. Just tell me how to do it and then I'll do it. Too much teeth. Too much teeth in the damn scales. Too much teeth in the pants. What? Remember, always count your teeth. If you don't count your damn teeth, it's gonna look like what the fuzz right after. You'd be like, how did I get another roll of that? Literally, you're gonna be like, how did I get another roll up in them teeth? Like, how? What? Makes no sense. Alright, now she was talking about a bottom roll, which I haven't even got to the damn self, so she knocked that shit down. But she brought it back up again if she wasn't there. Yeah. She knocked it down and then brought it back up. Yeah. Figure here that. No, what I'm saying is that she was showing you how to knock the teeth down if you want the teeth to be smaller. You could do that. If you want the teeth to be bigger, you could also keep it the way it was. Keep it the way it was, and not worry about how big the teeth are to the gums and everything. But they all got to line up. Like the lines and everything have to line up. If they don't line up, it's just going to look really confusing to the eye of the beholder. Yeah, said that. Then you're gonna look just like what the fuzz. And now she's talking about the bottom teeth. Okay, goddamn bottom teeth and shit. I mean stuff. I'm gonna forget. I'm gonna have to go bad. Oh, now she's saying you go to visualize the bottom teeth. I can't visualize the bottom teeth. The bottom teeth. Yeah, all that. No. Yeah, visualizing the bottom teeth where it's supposed to be at. You know what?
Once freehandedly. If all of your bottom teeth are visible in your drawing, make sure both rows of teeth are somewhat similar in total width.
Oh, that's what you were talking about.
Depending on how open the mouth is and how wide the lips stretch, you may not see all the teeth at once.
Should talk about this.
The second way to approach drawing teeth, the one I'm going to use, is I'm going to draw each tooth as I go, while visualizing the others and making measurements as I go along. If this makes you feel uneasy, try the first method this time, and then when you feel a little bit more comfortable, maybe that's tomorrow or next week, try the second method. Drawing the teeth without the help of a grid will definitely help you in the long run. Okay, let's draw some teeth.
Okay.
Along the vertical line, draw a Y shape. The top of the Y is the gums. Let's round off this corner of the tooth. I'm going to draw this tooth very wide, making it about a third of this entire space. Round off the top of the visible part of your tooth. Come down and round off the bottom corner. To draw the one on the left side, measure the width and transfer your measurement over. Now, as we work out toward the side of the mouth, I'm going to draw each tooth shorter than the two front teeth, but you can of course draw them many other ways. You can do a quick Google search to get a bunch of ideas. Draw another Y shape leading into the next tooth. This tooth is going to be more narrow. You can draw it similar in shape to the previous tooth, or make it look rounder if you like. Use the guideline as a rough boundary to draw within. Draw another Y shape yet again, leading to the next tooth. Form the tooth so that it's similar or narrower in width than the last. This tooth is usually sharp and pointy along the bottom edge. Just keep repeating the process while making each tooth more and more narrow as you go. These ones are also quite pointy along the bottom edge. When you reach the side boundary line for your teeth, draw the edge of the gums by creating a convex curve which ends below the top lip. Erase unneeded construction lines as you go. I now have a total of 5 visible teeth on this side. Now I'm going to do the same on the left. It's okay if you can't draw an exact mirror image because no natural set of teeth are exactly the same on each side. There can be differences in gum height, tooth angle, shape, rotation, sharpness, length, etc. I will try to measure and roughly match the right side, but it's really not a big deal. Anyway, use any measuring tool you have to measure the width of each tooth and draw them one at a time. To draw a mirror image of this tooth, I'm measuring the width and transferring it to the left. To match the position of this part of the gum, we can draw a visible line all the way across. And we can do the same thing to get the tooth height. I'm making sure that they're level horizontally. Use the same method to draw the rest of them. Let's erase any unneeded construction lines before we move on. All we have left to do now is draw the bottom row of teeth. For the top row of teeth, we drew the gums using a Y shape. Down here, we'll just flip that Y shape upside down. If your bottom teeth aren't very exposed, the gums may not even be visible at all. This tooth will actually be a lot narrower compared to the one at the top. Let's draw this one a bit more than half that width.
She's talking about like this. Not with the humongous teeth, but you get the point.
Let's make the corner of the tooth round.
I ain't gonna lie. It took me a minute to get that down.
Let's mirror this tooth on the left side. Now let's draw the rest of these teeth about the same size as the previous tooth. Draw the gums or a gap between each tooth if you want. I'm shaping these teeth so that the lower portion is slightly more narrow. As you draw, keep in mind that the lip gradually covers more and more of the teeth, so the gums may become less visible or not visible at all. This tooth is typically pointier than the other front-facing teeth. The rest of the molars in the back of the mouth are quite jaggedy. Each of these teeth that are further back in the mouth may have several peaks or pointy edges. Let's quickly draw the rest of these teeth and move on to the next step. If you're struggling to draw the teeth in the back, picture the entire row in full. Here's a small optional detail that you can add. When the mouth is open wide, you may see some pink flesh inside the mouth around the corner right here. So I'm going to add that on each side. Now just erase all the construction lines.
Oh, she's talking about pink flesh. Be like this, like right here. Look, that little lines on the side, the teeth here in the back.
Alright, make sure the pencil strokes between each tooth are thin and light. If the space between each tooth is thick, they may come across looking stained, or like there's a big gap between each tooth. If that's what you're going for, then please continue on to the next step. Now we're ready to shade. If you're not familiar with shading and lighting, please watch the video in the card or in the description before you continue. In order to shade, we need to decide on where the light source is coming from in this scene. I'm going to place my light source
depending on what you're looking at. Okay.
regardless of the
Depending on where you're at, where you're pointing, where the sun is, like the sun's over here. For me, the light's over here, so it's going to be creating this way, pretty much. On when I turn the paper around, it's going to be on this side of the paper. And I turn it back this way, it's going to be on this side. So since the sun's over here, it's going to be on this side now, since you're looking like that. But at the end of the day, that's what she's talking about. You just do the guideline of these right here, you're good to go. And you can actually erase the other guidelines that you have on top. You can erase all that because you don't need it no more. And I'm just trying to figure this stuff out, to be honest. Now with the shading, it's going to be a little different. The shading is going to be like, you're going to have to use your hands like this and shade lightly, not dark as hell. Like you're trying to like work real hard at no, shade extremely lightly. Do it like it's not even on your hand. It's not even like it's like this, pretty much. Not like this per se, but you get the point. Like it's very lightly on your hand to where you can actually shade lighter and then build the contrast, build the darkness, and build it up to being darker. That's what you should do. That's how you should do that. And what she did was pretty much she's building the shading on the lips. That's what she's doing first. She's not doing the teeth yet. She's doing the building of the lips. So just shade that in. The little dark sides of the lips. You're good to go. And trust me, she does it quickly. Take your time. Like no joke. Take your bloody time, because you don't. Because you do not want to make your artwork quick. You don't want to do your artwork too fast. Take your time with your art. Make sure you have enough spacing. Make sure you have enough shading. Correct shading. You don't just shade all willy-nilly. And I'm using a lead pencil. Actually, I have two lead pencils per se. Two. But I'm using lead pencil. You can use pencil, number 2 pencil. You can use any type of pencil you need. Mainly a number 2, because it would be better to use number 2 pencil. But I'm using a lead pencil and shading that first. Shading everything up on here. And I don't really have an eraser besides the pencil itself, which has the eraser itself. But I don't use that most of the times. Now, I think his name is Bob Ross or something like that. He like says, a healthy mistake is a good mistake, or something like that. Don't quote me on what he said, but it was funny. Because he was talking about saying that even if you make a mistake, it's not necessarily a mistake. It's just, little mishap, but it's easy to fix. I'm just paraphrasing that part. At the end of the day, do say that too much. You're gonna have to. You can easily, when you're shading, you can shade. I'm actually trying to draw this while talking at the same time. I mean, shade this while talking at the same time. Oh, and there's a lot of mistakes you can make. You can also make where if you draw the lip too heavy, you can accidentally mess up the shading. And the paper that I'm using for this right here is pastel paper. I'm using pastel paper. You can use other different type. You can tell I'm literally using pastel paper. This is what I'm talking about. Pastel paper is like the shade coloring and all that stuff into that. Yes, I can draw now. But when it comes to that, you can use pastel paper, which is a lot easier to shade when it comes to graphite or pastels or chalk. It's very easy to to shade and to color and all of that. All of that. It's very easy to do that. She's doing black and white. I'm probably going to. Nah, I'm just gonna keep it black and white for right now. I was gonna teach you how to do with coloring, because now that is fun. Okay, yeah, that's right. But black and white, yeah, y'all need to stick with black and white, to be honest, because I'll do that. I'll do that next time when it comes to my videos. I'll do black and white. Okay, it's easier. For people that are using, if look at my hand, way it is set up. This is how you shade. Light, really lightly. Do your hand, it feels like you're tickling your hand. That's literally how you should shade. It feels like you're tickling your own hand with the pencil. Like you're tickling somebody. You know, that's how you should shade. You don't just go in and just, ugh. And this is for the little kids too. This is for the little kids as well. That's how you should shade. You should be feeling like you're tickling somebody. That's how you should be shading. Always. That's how you build up on the shading. After you see it looks perfect in your eyes, you build up on the shading. Trust me on that. And that's even with anything when it comes to drawing. It comes you don't dig deep when it comes to drawing. You lightly put it on it like you're tickling the paper. Like you're just tickling somebody. Which kids love to tickle people, so they love to be tickled, so that's where the reference came from. Wow, actually makes sense. But so at the end of the day, that's what you got to do. Okay. When you do that, after you get done with the shading, and it takes a minute to do the shading, and no lie, it does take a minute to shade. You're gonna be able to see, and you got to shade the whole entire lip. I'm talking right now because I'm giving you that chance and the moment to shade the whole entire lip. You know, I'm giving you that chance to shade the entire lip the way, either the way you want it, the way you want it to be done, or the way it should be done. To be honest, to each their own. If you like it to be real thick and real heavy, you know, hey, draw it really thick and really heavy. But if you really want it to be more realistic, do it my way. Well, not really my way. Do it the way that it's supposed to be done, like really lightly, and then build up on that, the contrast. That's if you wanted to make it more realistic. And since I'm using a lead pencil, it's going to take me a little longer because of the it's a very fine tip, and it's not like I could just shade the way she's shading with all of that other stuff. And to be honest, I find it for me, I find it a lot easier to shade with a lead pencil than to shade, you know, with other type of number 2 pencil. And to be honest, a lot of people always, you know, try to get you to use a number 2 pencil to shade. Like my stomach, I'm hungry. Surprisingly. But I say, you know what? To each their own. If you have a number 2 pencil, by all means, use it. If you don't, and you only have at your disposal a lead pencil, use that. I'm teaching you also how to use that as well. I'm not teaching you how to use that, but you should already know how to use a number 2 pencil with the shading, because it's a lot more fun when you come with a number 2 pencil when it comes to shading. But when it comes to like using lead pencils, it's more detailing than anything else. It's not really, you're not really trying to look for shading, you look for detailing. That becomes with number 2 pencil with lead pencils. The shading is crazy. I mean, the detailing is like on point. And you'll see in a few minutes what I'm talking about when I say the details. Like, I can do detailing on point. And I'm like, bruh, this is amazing. And all of that. So, and I'm doing this, due time and process. You can do this as well. You can take your time and get to know this and have fun with this. Shoot. And not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. I totally messed up. And you can also, like I said, shade the shading. Again, make it light. Don't make it dark. If you make it too dark, it's going to look muff. It's going to look really, yeah. Yes, I use that word, yeah. I don't know why, but I did it anyway. And it's not going to look as fun. It's not going to be as fun as you think. This is the end result of the top lip of what she was talking about, saying make it light. You can make it lighter if you want to by just shading. I mean, not shading. Erasing it. Like, okay, with the eraser, what you need to do, same thing when you did with your pencil. Lightly touch it like you're tickling yourself. Same thing you need to do with the eraser. Same exact feel. Lightly touch the paper to where it's like you're tickling the paper and tickling yourself. Lightly touching the paper, and you lightly pull off your graphics. I'm not okay. Right now, you hear me scraping because I'm trying to clean up the eraser. I'm trying to clean off the eraser while I'm doing this too. You might want to do that as well, but lightly erase what you need to erase. And matter of fact, the funny thing is, if you lightly do it, you're blending it together. You're blending all of that together, and which makes it look more realistic. Which technically, that's what you want it to do. That's what you want to do. Oh, and kids, stay within between the lines. Okay, that's why you use a ruler, so you can stay within the lines and not go out of line. Okay, you guys. So. It's gonna look. Trust me, when you get finished with it, it's gonna look beautiful. And I know for a fact that you're not gonna want to stay in the lines, but trust me, it's fun. It's gonna be fun as I don't know what. It's gonna be really beautiful. So, keep at it. You got it, man. Y'all got it. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Peter. How you doing? Feeling good, Peter? Yeah, I feel good. Just having fun with the Peter accent. Sorry. Peter Griffin. That's his name. Peter Griffin. With the teeth, which I realized I did wrong. What I did wrong with the teeth is, let me show you. Let me do it first. Let me do it first, and then I'll show you what I did wrong. Let me correct it. Which I'm pretty sure every person has done. Is with the teeth on the top part where the gums and the teeth meet. As you can tell, I had to fix that. Where the gums and the teeth meet, you have to make it to where it's darker in the dip area where the teeth, meet themselves. And when it gets near to the gum area, it's a lot lighter and a lot smoother, to where it's not as dark as you wanna put it. Reason being, so it actually can look a lot better, more realistic.
Light direction. Let's first shade a flat layer of graphite on the top lip, just to make it a different shade from the paper.
I'll just put that on just so y'all.
Make sure a large portion of your
Cause I'm pretty sure
graphite
y'all
is
done with the
Then
whole
hold your pencil
situation.
in an overhand
I
grip
just want to
like
make sure
this.
y'all do.
Use
Okay.
the side of your lead to scribble on a scrap piece of paper until your strokes become thick and smooth. Hold that grip and shade a solid layer of graphite across the entire lip. Try to keep your strokes close together so your shading looks nice and smooth. My light source shines down from above, so the bottom edge of the lip, the part that turns away from the light, will be in shadow. It's good to think about the shape of your subject in 3D to help you know where to shade, where the form faces the light, and where it starts to turn away. I'm going to shade lighter gradually as the surface turns into the light.
She's talking about the lips now.
Try to account for even the most subtle plane changes. For example, the leftmost side of the lip might face away from the direct light to a very small degree. This part of the lip recedes as the lip is being pulled back, so it should be drawn slightly darker. The entire right side of the lip is facing the opposite direction of the direct light, so I'm going to shade it much darker than the left side.
You still gotta do that technique that I was just talking about, okay, guys?
In some areas, I'm using the tip of my pencil to shade because I'm trying to fill in all those tiny white dots, boundaries on the paper surface, which make the drawing look grainy.
That's right.
You will eventually blend those out later with a different tool, but try your best to shade as smoothly as you can right now.
Oh, and also never use your hands for shading. Never use it because the oil in your hands will. It doesn't work with paper. Any kind of paper. And it just doesn't help.
Now let's do the same thing for the bottom lip. Shade a light solid layer of graphite across the entire lip.
Okay, to be honest, I'm not even done with my top lip. So that's why I paused it again, just so you guys could, catch up and do what you gotta do with the bottom or top lip. Like I said again, also, she's doing a quick tutorial, a quick one. Very fast, very easy type of stuff, just making sure you're actually doing it correctly. I am not. I am teaching you how to do it slowly. And it's going to be a little longer video, but still you're going to have, step by step. It's going to look right. It should look right if you're doing it correctly. No joke, it should look correct. Now I am starting on the bottom lip since I've already finished the top and getting that. Well, almost finished the top. Take your time with the top if you're not, completely sure with the shading. Take your time with the top. And like you said, on the one side it should be a lot lighter than the other side. So, in saying that, one of your sides should be darker. Then the left side should be darker than the right side. The right side should be darker than the left side, depending on where your light is at. Okay. Depending on where your light is from, light is at. That's how it should be. And matter of fact, shade from the bottom lip up shape because it's supposed to be lighter on top. And you'll tell, and you'll be able to tell once I show you my top lip, how it looks and everything. And see, that's the thing of which I don't like when it comes to YouTube. People always want to have fast and quick videos of, you know, everything. Quick songs, quick this, quick that. Life is not like that, okay? I'm sorry to say that, but life isn't quick. You know, you can't just get rid of, you can't do things real quickly. It takes time to do stuff. Just like it's taking you time to do this, it's going to take you time to do what you got to do, man. Or girl. I don't want to discriminate, but it's going to take you time to do it. Now, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a guy to be like saying, oh yeah, actually, and I can do that thing real quick, no problem. I don't need to be taking it, doing the quick way. And trust me, I've tried doing the quick way. You can check out my Instagram. It didn't work out. I tried drawing people's faces, my friends' faces, real quick. That did not work out the way I thought it would. No joke. I was like, yo, I got this. Oh yeah. Yes, I do. But then I thought I effed up really bad. Really bad. Really bad. It was so funny. They loved the picture. Don't get me wrong. People loved and liked what I did. Loved it and liked it, everything like that. But to be honest, it was like, bruh, you really need some practice. More practice. And doing, the work faster than what you're supposed to be doing. Now, don't get me wrong. There are people out there that know how to draw or paint or even shade pictures and do that shading. Shading and all that. Do things really quickly and very easily. I'm not that kind of guy. Yeah, I had to look in the camera, looking fake looking. I ain't that type of dude, You're gonna do it the right way, or you just gonna do it your own way. Which, people want to do it their own way. Now I'm gonna show you how it looks, how dark I got it, where the light's at, where the dark is supposed to be at, and everything. Yeah. Can't tell if you're on feeders or not, but anyway, that's how it's supposed to look. Now this is where the shading, we're talking about where the light, the shading, like taking off the graphite. This is where that comes in the play. You can. I'm taking off the graphite a little bit on this side where the light comes, where the light's hitting it. I'm taking off the graphite. Depending on, and you do this lightly. You don't do it harshly. You do it lightly, because if you do it harshly, it comes off too much, and just like how I did it. I did a little harsh. See what I did? I did a little harsh. Now I gotta do it all over again. But I just did that just to show you, what not to do. But then again, like I said earlier, you can easily shade it in quite quickly. Once you get used to the stroking and how it feels and everything, how it feels in your hand, and how quick you need to use the motion and everything. Yeah, That's how it's supposed to feel in your hands. So you can do it quickly, you can do it slowly, you can do it as fast as you like. Sorry. Yeah, whatever. Hey, there's no way else I can say that, okay? Parents, there's no way else I can say that. But back to what I'm saying. Just do that. Now the bottom is supposed to be the same way. Sorry, it's too much. The bottom is supposed to be the same exact way, okay? It's like so. And this is supposed to be a kiddie friendly show. My bad. Sorry for that. But, here we go. Don't forget the lines. I mean, even if you mess up, you can always there's always references on different lines that you need to keep, and ones you don't need to keep. All right. Now what we're gonna do? We're gonna go back to the. Now we're gonna go to the bottom. Oh, make sure. As like I said earlier, make sure your hand is not on the picture itself. Oopsie. That came out of nowhere. Make sure your hand is not on the picture itself. Because when you do that, that's the point. What I'm saying is, this is just something I'm using. Put something over it so your hand is not on the picture itself. Because if it is, you're going to shade and it's going to look really messed up. Because the shading you just did is going to bleed onto the picture that on certain parts you don't want it to bleed onto. You have to erase it and all this other stuff. I'm like, oh my god. So don't do that. Now there is one thing I want to say. Like I said earlier, technically I did kind of say it earlier. Shade lightly. What was the other one? Okay. Shade lightly. And then there's another one I said also. I'm pretty sure y'all got it anyways. But you're supposed to shade lightly and then also shade on the left to right, depending on what hand you're using. If you're a righty, you shade from from left to right. If you're a lefty, you shade from right to left. That's how you do it. Trust me on that. Always remember that. And always remember to use something on your hand so it doesn't get onto the paper. And she's already done with the lips area. I'm like, no joke. She's literally like, we're already at the point where she's gonna be at the bottom lip area. So that's why I am not doing the video right now, her video, because it's already at that point where we're almost done. You should be almost done. But at the end of the day, like, bruh, pineapples, there's no way you can do a drawing that fast. There's no way in the world you can like tell people, yeah, you can do that drawing real quickly and you're good to go. And plus, I mean, to be honest, she actually her style of art is different than my style. Yeah, no joke. There's different I'm telling you right now, kids, there's different styles of drawing, artworks, and styles of how to draw and how to paint and different techniques. There's different techniques you need to learn. There's a whole group of different techniques you gotta learn. You gotta know. It's not like you can look it up. As a matter of fact, I'll do that on my video, not on my video, but on my YouTube as well, to teach you how to do the different techniques, which I already know a few of them. There's even some that I don't even know, that I can learn along the way in teaching you guys how to do the techniques as well. Like I said earlier, you gotta keep drawing, keep shading. You also gotta listen too, but still shade and draw. Shade at the same time while listening. You blotter, you block, you know. And almost get it. It's just so difficult sometimes when you're trying to. I know it's very difficult to try to teach kids on how to draw, and kids, I know it's very difficult to stay in one spot and listen, and being able to do what you got to do, and getting your work done correctly. But trust me, bruh, when you get it done right, you can get it done right. But that makes no sense. When you get it done right, it trust me, it brings happiness to the other people you're doing it for. Even though your parents are gonna love everything that you draw and everything you paint and all the stuff you do, believe me, when you get a little older, the techniques that I'm teaching you that you're learning right now can go far. You can go so far, and it'll help you out. Trust me, it'll definitely help you out in the near future. Some people be like, well, why do I gotta do my things? And trust me, as a kid, you'd be like wondering sometimes, why do you gotta do the all these different techniques? Why you gotta do like step by step by step? And to be honest, the reasons why that is so it can teach you patience. That's the reason why you do those steps. It teaches you patience. It teaches you to relax, to just take your time, to breathe, and enjoy the day. Enjoy what you're doing, and take the time to have fun. That's the reasons why you do these things. I didn't know that back then, to be honest. I didn't know that at all back then. I just did it just because I wanted to escape the world. I wanted to escape, my reality, the situations that I was going through. I had a lot of surgeries when I was, your age. I'm talking about when I was a kid, like young, like little tight. You know what I mean? So it's difficult. It was difficult for those kind of kids. But at the end of the day, they had a lot of fun. I mean, I had a lot of fun when I was drawing. My dad, he was an artist. My brother, my eldest brother, he was an artist. And one of my brothers, he's a chef. So, shit, we get a whole bunch of things going on, in our family. And he still is a chef, actually. I almost forgot what I was about to say too. I talk about the do not use your hands over the graphite because it's going to suck. Yes, all the fun out of it. But what you got to do is enjoy the fun that you're having, either with your family, your friends. Oh, and matter of fact, I forgot to tell you that if you're using a lead pencil, there's different types of lead pencils, which no one tells you that ever. There's different sizes, different fat. There's fat lead pencils. I'm talking about the lead themselves, not the pencil itself, but the lead. There's fat lead. It's always straight to extremely thin to where you can do fine work. So if you love lead pencils and you wanted to get in, and if you are If you don't know nothing about lead pencils and you want to get into liking and using lead pencils, look that up. I don't have the information on that. I'm sorry, but look it up. Trust me, it's easy to find feasible. Go to a art store. They should have like lead pencils there. They should have art supplies, everything you can think of. I will put down the description down below on the art supplies that I use a lot of the times. Where I bought my paper, where I bought my pencils, my all of these here too. These are actually, you can tell, these are pastel pencils. I got different colors pastels as well. Got different color. Well, that's not a pastel. This is not pastel pencil. This is a regular pencil. But everything else you can use. You see pastel colors. Oh, and also I have chalk pencil, chalk, pastels as well. They may not be called chalk pastels, but that's what I call them. I'm pretty sure there's something else. And she's teaching us how to do a realistic with shading of black and whites, which I'm not really a big fan of black and white. No joke. I'm not a big fan of black and white. No joke. I'm not really at all. I'm a really big fan of coloring, colors, and stuff like that. Now, if you can do black and white, it's just the same concept. The same concept and the same techniques you can use towards coloring when it does with certain colors. But only thing different with colors, you have to blend. You have to get the correct color, palette. You got to get the correct color palette, just like painting. Correct color palette, and blend lightly from the lights to the darks, from light colors to the dark colors, to blend in to get what you need, the contrast and everything that you need. If you don't do that, you're not going to get what you ask. Oh, and this, I've never really done this before on my channel, to be honest. I've never actually drawn a painting or a picture literally on my channel per se. Because I've done it like painting, yes, but not drawing. So oh my God, he can actually draw. I haven't done that on my channel yet. So it was the first time for everything, and I got tired of, as an artist, you really get tired of people telling you that, trying to get you to draw something because they're seeing if you actually know how to draw. And if they draw, they always trying to critique your work all of the time. I'm like, bruh, especially if they're, okay, to be honest, there's no such thing as a shitty artist. But if they don't know, if they're not doing if you're doing realistic and they're not doing any realistic art, and they're trying to critique your realisticness on your art, that's kind of, don't get me wrong, you need to take that that critique and actually learn and listen if you are trying to do realistic. And if they are good at doing realistic art, learn from them. But if they are not doing realistic art and they don't know, they've heard of certain people saying certain things that you need to do, then yeah, listen to them. But if they don't know anything at all, they're just saying shit to be saying stuff to be saying stuff. I apologize because saying things to be saying things. then don't listen to it. Personally, yeah, don't. So like, why? Why are you gonna listen to somebody that this mouthing off nothingness? Because just because you think they're a nice person, don't don't do that. Oh, and ladies and men, gentlemen, for the adults, you know, yes, you like to critique other people's work, but if you don't take your own advice that you're giving to the other person, then don't say anything. That's what I always say to people. You not always say to people, but I always, you know, put that out there saying like, yo, if I tell you something, it's because I've done it. It's because I do it. Actually, I actually do it. I just don't just tell you, oh, you know, you need to do this, you need to do that. If you don't do that in your own art, that's one on one type stuff. You don't one-on-one type stuff. You just don't just tell a person, oh, hey, you need to do this because this is off or that's off. This looks like crap. That looks like crap. You know, you really you calling yourself an artist and then you bashing the other artists in the process. If you're bashing the other artists and your stuff is not up to par as theirs is, don't bash their stuff. Like hands down, don't do that. Don't bash their work. Don't talk, down to them and of what they're doing. That's with anybody. Because I remember had one woman. She, I mean, it was funny thinking about it at first. I mean, after a while, but when I first heard her say, "Oh, your artwork looks like a little kid can draw," because I drew a painting and everything. It looks like a little kid can draw that. And all I said was, "Oh, good, then you can draw it too." I'm not trying to. I wasn't trying to be a dick. Sorry, but I wasn't trying to be a butt. But I did say, "Yo, then you can draw it too. If you want, I can teach you how to draw this or how to paint this." Because painting and drawing, two different concepts, totally two different concepts, and two different mediums and everything. So, in the process of you telling someone that their work is like a little kid can do it, then you can do it too. Or looks like a little kid did it. And I'm like, oh cool, then you can do it too. And that'll, trust me, if you say that to anybody and you're an artist and you say that to anyone, that'll make them shut up real quick and think before they talk. Because there's some people that are there that don't think before they talk. And I'm not bashing the person that said what they said. I actually really appreciated what they were saying because it at the time it did look like a little kid could draw it. Just saying. But um I was I was starting in painting. That's the thing. That's what it was. I was getting into painting. I've never painted before, so and what I was doing is like learning how to paint, learning how to do certain things um, to make it more realistic. And that was my goal. And I was how old was I back then? Like 16? No, not 16. Um, hmm, what was that? No, yeah, I was about like 17, 18. I think I was probably maybe a little older, a little bit older, probably. But I'm to be honest, right now I'm 30 years old right now, so I probably was around 20 around that time, just learning how to paint. Yeah, I was around 20 years old. learning how to paint. And trust me, you're 20 years old and you're learning how to paint. Like, you're looking at me like, bro, you should know how to paint, man. Like, yeah, you should already know how to do it, bro. What took you so long, yeah? Yeah, you need some milk? Yeah, dude, you need some milk, bro. Taking you forever, bro, to do this, painting, bro. Type stuff. So, I'm like, yeah, you did. So what? Okay, back to what we're doing here, because I'm pretty sure you should be done by now, at least when it comes to this art. This, not, not completely done, but at least done with the shading. And I'm pretty sure you're gonna be like saying, this dude is talking so long, so much. He's not even showing his art or his painting that he's doing right now. Give me a few minutes, I'll show it to you in a few seconds. Yeah. So, and I've actually been showing what I'm doing this whole entire time. I'm actually drawing this no joke. I'm actually drawing it with you as well. So, and this girl's going pretty fast. So at the end of the day, my video and her, what she's doing.
Hey, quick. I'm Darlene, and you're watching a rapid fire art tutorial. In this video, I'll cover my.
And I gotta actually now make it, back to where y'all were actually looking at, because I don't know what happened. Ow.
Method for drawing is.
Man, you don't get your ass. I'll tell you right now, bro. Too far. Yeah, that's where we're at. And the shading of the mouth, of the mouth.
My light source shines down from above, so the bottom edge of the lip, the part that turns away from the light, will be in shadow.
Matter of fact, still, don't forget, guys, blend your stuff in. You can also use toilet paper to actually blend.
It's good to think about the shape of your subject in 3D to help you know where to shade, where the form faces the light, and where it starts to turn away.
I'm
going to shade lighter gradually as the surface turns into the light.
I'm going to shade a lot darker as it gets away from the light, of course. Turns away from the light.
Try to account for even the most subtle plane changes. For example, the leftmost side of the lip might face away from the direct light to a very small degree. This part of the lip recedes as the lip is being pulled back, so it should be drawn slightly darker.
This is correct.
The entire right side of the lip is facing the opposite direction of the direct light, so I'm going to shade it much darker than the left side.
Oh, and I'm still using only just a lead pencil to let you guys know. So those people that, oh my god, I don't know what she's using. That's what I'm using.
In some areas, I'm using the tip of my pencil to shade because I'm trying to fill in all those tiny white dots, valleys on the paper surface, which make the drawing look grainy. We will eventually blend those out later with a different tool, but try your best to shade as smoothly as you can right now. Now let's do the same thing for the bottom lip. Shade a light solid layer of graphite across the entire lip. Now shade areas that face away from your light source. For me, that's the top and bottom edge, the right side, and the end of the lip, the part that recedes as it's being pulled into a smile.
Part that
Again,
recedes
figure
and
your
pulled
subject
into a
in
smile.
3D to work out the areas of light and shadow. Just like the top lip, the right side of this lip will also be in shadow as it faces away from the direct light. If you want, you can slowly build your shading up in layers instead of applying a lot of pressure on your first pass.
That'll be the smart way to do it.
Even though the lip is stretched into a big smile, I still want to make it look very plump, so I'm shading the very bottom edge. The darker the shadow, the more plump the lip will appear.
Well, I'm gonna make your lip plump.
If you extend that shadow all the way up here, the lip may look Botoxed because most lips are generally less plump near the ends. Let me just exaggerate that shadow some more so you can see how it looks, and then I'll just erase it later.
All she's doing is shading the bottom area way darker now. She's literally shading that dark so it looks like it's more plump.
This edge curves in, away from the lip. Once it's shaded, you'll start to see the lip become plump.
Yeah. Now she's shading the top part of it to make it more plump. Oh, another thing is,
I'm giving it a gradual value change.
one thing that she hasn't said also is that you need to also do is shade as the skin goes down. You need to shade it like you're doing this, doing like a little loop, and each side is different. It's a loop like that pretty much each side to make it look like it, not like a loop, like pretty much make it look like it's actually jumping out at you.
As the lip curves toward the light. If you want to make the lips appear more realistic, add a few slight wrinkles. I'm going to skip that step to save time, but if you want to learn how to draw and shade lip wrinkles, please watch my detailed tutorial on drawing lips.
But what I know is easily, technically, you're supposed to do that way before the wrinkle part. Erase lips, dirtiness. Good. Yeah. Still nice though, to be honest. Still good. I kind of did a little mess up right there though. But still, that's still nice. At the end of the day, oh, let me put it back there.
Again, I'm using the tip of my pencil to fill in those grainy looking areas so the shading looks smoother. This part of the lip recedes as the lip is being pulled back. It angles away from the direct light, so I'm also going to shade it slightly darker as well. The specific areas that you shade are dependent on the shape you want to define for your set of lips and the direction of light that you chose. If you want to learn more about light and how to shade, please visit the tutorial in the card or in the description.
I hopefully will try to figure out where her descriptions are at and everything. Well, to be honest, I'll just link this video itself so you know actually where the descriptions are when where she's talking.
Let's shade inside the mouth now.
Cool.
You can shade it as dark as you want. I'm going to make it really dark to give the drawing a very high contrast, so it'll really pop.
I'm not going to
get
shade
to
it
the
dark.
central area, shade much lighter so it looks like there's a tongue.
Oh, She's talking, okay.
And then finally, shade.
What she's talking about, okay, so I'm going to show you real quick after I shade it, is the inner mouth area. You got to shade it extremely dark. A lot darker than the actual mouth itself. I mean the lips itself. Not the mouth, but the lips. A lot darker than the lips. And doing that with a lead pencil is harder than the lips. Because you don't want to put too much pressure. You put too much pressure, it'll break. The pencil will break. If you don't do enough pressure, it's not going to be dark as you want it to be. And all that good stuff. Oh, this is getting. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. I'm doing both sides this time. Just to show you where I actually did the shading. Okay. Where you see where the darkness is, it's way darker on there. Right here. Yeah. That's what she was talking about. Doing it that way. Making that darker. That's I don't know what. Whew. That was horrible. Making that dark. That's what she was saying.
A bit of flush at the corners of the mouth. I'm shading mine quite dark, so they appear very subtle, but you can shade them lighter.
Okay, you know what? I just realized something. She shaded inside of the mouth too. What you're trying to get. Sorry for the screen looking all cracked up and all that, but still, this what you're trying to get is this shading with inside of the mouth where the teeth are, and the tongue means where the tongue is at. Shading that area. That's where you're trying to get to. To be honest, harder than it looks to get to that point, but. I could do it. Shoot. I shade lighter than, doing it extremely dark the first time. And then gradually get darker. If you're not familiar with it yet, that's what I suggest you should do. Especially with shading. And also shading with a lead pencil. And this is going to take a minute. I'm not going to lie, it will take you a minute. to do. I mean, it'll take you a minute to one get the light shading down first, then getting the dark down, then and then shading it darker and darker and darker each time. And if it's, and this is for the kids, if it's not going to, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna like look at this video and try to see how to draw it the way that I'm drawing it, which, and you're probably gonna look at the picture and be like, okay, he did this, yeah, his teeth is kind of big. Like, oh my god, why does his teeth look so huge on this picture here? I don't know. But yeah, like literally. This is how it's supposed to look with the shading in the dark and area, darker sides, darker area. Okay. Technically, when you get near the mouth, like, okay, when you get near the, where it's more lighter, you can tell, you see where the tongue is at. You can definitely tell that it's supposed to be there. The tongue is supposed to be there, so it's supposed to be lighter there. So lighten that area up. Don't darken it too much, like I just did. Okay, everybody, all the little people, you know, lighten that area up as you gradually get around that little lightened area in the middle of the mouth. Darken the rest of it in the back area to where it's more, it looks like it's popping out at you. Pretty much. That's what you're trying to get. Not gonna lie, this is extremely tiresome sometimes. Yeah, it can get that way, to be honest. It can get really tiring. Your hands can start hurting a little bit afterwards, because doing this much, your hands will start hurting. A little bit, not a lot, but just a little bit. And she was talking about the blending stump, or blending tool she was talking about. You can use a, like, tooth, I said tooth, sorry. What can we use? Oh, toilet paper. Or Scott towel. You can use a Scott towel or toilet paper. It's quite easy, simple. Your parents may not like you after a minute because you're using, you know, toilet paper or toothpaste, toilet tissue. But just tell them that, hey, it's part of the little lesson I'm learning here. It's part of that. So please don't get mad, okay? Don't get mad, Mom and Dad. The man that's on here told us to do this. Okay? The bad man, I ain't a bad man. The weird guy on YouTube said to do this. Don't call me weird guy. Okay? That'll be weird. Calling me a weird guy to your parents. They'll be like, why you listen to a weird guy? Like, you listen to him while you listen to me? What's up with that, man? What's up with that? Bad cat. I'm listening to a guy that's on Johnny. It's on this website instead of listening to me. I'll play him. I'm not too much fun. I'm not gonna lie, trying to get this dark enough. Oh yeah, go back on the areas where it's supposed to be really, really dark. If you don't do it, it's going to look odd. Oh, and kids, this is where the time where you can have a lot of fun darkening your areas in the mouth area. You can go as hard as you want. You know, you can go as hard as you need to be. Just don't put a hole in the paper. Okay? Just don't put a hole in the paper. But you can go as fun and enjoyable and as you need to get done. To be honest, I thought my niece would be back home by now. And then, but when, like I said, in the middle, do as light as you can. But when you get on the edges, on the outskirt of the mouth, of this area, on this area here, get right here, dark, middle, light. You see what I'm saying? Darken in there on the outside skirt area and light in the middle. I am so surprised my picture is actually doing pretty good. Looking pretty good. Ain't gonna lie, I really thought this was gonna look like a mess. Okay, right now I'm actually doing changing something with the lips, making the lips a little bigger on top. Well, not bigger, sorry, fuller on top. Reasons why is because I think the gums are just, yeah. I think the gums are just too big right now. That's why. Wow, a minute. Literally, a minute. And the one thing you want to, try to fix is up top too. You want to make everything more like rounded out lips. The shading, I mean, not the actual lips or something rounded, but the shading. You want to make sure it's blended to make it look like the lips is actually rounded, not look like the lips are flat on the paper. Because if the lips look flat on the paper, it's just going, yeah. I'm gonna be like, hell, what's this? This is not what I was looking for. This is not what I paid for. I ain't paid for this nasty looking thing. Oh no, I didn't. I paid for something looking all pretty and beautiful. Like when your mom walks into the room and your dad says, "Oh, you look so beautiful." Yeah, that's exactly that. Okay, now I'm actually getting on to. I'm actually not doing the lips anymore. Well, I am still trying. I'm doing lips right now, but I'm going to be starting the gums. I'm going to start doing the gums in the mouth, inside of the mouth. That's going to be interesting. do that. I'll do the video so
Like.
she can do it. She can show you how to do that.
Moving on to the gums.
Yeah.
Shade a light layer of graphite across the gums. Okay, once you're done, let's shade the far left and right edge so it appears round instead of flat. Next, shade each of these crevices very lightly. Our gums kind of stick out above each tooth, so visualize a bump above each one and shade around it. Make the value change around each one gradual so they look like bumps.
Oh, that's what you were talking about.
And then add a cast shadow right below the top lip. Time to shade all the teeth. Natural teeth.
No, do the shading on the bumps, what she was talking about. I'll show you right here. The shading on the bumps. She was talking about like a little tiny little bumps. Just feel like little loops around the top of your teeth area. Just do that, okay? I'll show you in a few seconds. Just let me do it, and then you can also do it that way. Because I'm telling you right now, it's easier to do that. What I'm doing right now is way easier. Hopefully you can see it. What I did. See? It's way easier to do it that way on top of the gums, and that's just because of the shading. That's just for the shading. You do it that way, so it'd be easier for shading up top here, and you know where to stop when it comes to the lighting. You'll know where to stop. When she's talking about bumps, that's where the top part of the bumps are at. So you just shade up top there, which I'm gonna show you. You don't shade on where the bumps are at. You literally shade up top. You just shade up top of there. You know where the shading's at, you see? Do it that way and shade it all the way around. Lightly, please. You don't shade it dark. You shade it lightly. Lighter than the lips. You don't want to shade it darker than the lips. Not right now. At least not right now. Woohoo! You're like Winnie the Pooh, you know, going down face ass. I'm just playing. Yeah, if you do this, and trust me, it's not going to be, oh my god, it's going to be like really quickly. You take your time. Then after you do it, you're good to go. And now, to be honest, you should be done perfectly right about now. Kind of. How do you do?
Alright.
If y'all wonder who that was my niece. Okay. I say arm. I don't know why I said arms. Give me a few minutes and you will be able to get this done correctly. Just shade it. I messed that up. Alright. Now, it's technically supposed to look as like that on the left side or right side over there. And it gets, you do that to same on the same side on the other side. That's how you draw your teeth. Your gums. Not gonna lie, you look like a kitty. No.
Huh?
Doing the video. I don't know. They didn't come here and say it. They said it was done. They gotta get some parts. Oh shit, you should know. That's what happens when you live with people. Life goes on. Pretty much I'm gonna have to go out anyways after this, get some things. Like those go on. And you just want to keep shading it till it gets okay. It's about to be a thunderstorm here. Yay! That's what it comes back. Yeah. As you get gradually together, what you need to get done, it's going to look like this. It should look like this, the top part. Now, what you're going to do is have to draw the bottom part just like you're doing the top part. Just like you did the top part, but it's going to be in like a little dips. It's gonna have to look like little tiny little dips of situations and levels of shading that you're gonna have to do. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be so difficult. Oh my god. No, it's not really. It's not gonna be that difficult. To be honest, this is how long it should have taken her to draw this. The girl that's in the video, that's doing the video. I'm pretty sure it took her this long to do it, but that's what she said. It was a quick tutorial, trying to do like really fast. And that's why it's like, oh, okay, so that's what she meant by quick tutorial. So this is how long it would take you. Literally, this is how long it would take you. So if you thinking that, oh no, it's not gonna take me that long, right? It ain't gonna take me that long, man. You just slow. when it comes to your art. You just slow, bro. You gonna take that on. I do it real quick type stuff. You know what I mean? It don't take me that long to do that. Okay. Cool. Didn't show me. Matter of fact, if it did not take you as long as it's supposed to have taken you, as long as I have, as long as it took me, then show me. What I'm gonna do is I cut down the mouth again. I know it's like, why did you do that? Wow. Because it looked weird with just the gums being there. Yeah, it looked weird with just the gums being there. In the front there, you'll see what I mean when I show you. You'll see when I show you. Just give me a sec. So. That's not smell that. Somebody putting some. I smell in the house, I guess. Anyway. Oops. But trust me, when I get this done, you're gonna be like, oh my god. It's amazing. Just in the same way, you're gonna be like, oh my god, I wish I could draw like that. You should be able to. Just put your mind to it. You can draw anything you want. You put your time, put the time into it, your mind, everything. You can literally draw anything if you want. If you put your mind to it. To be honest, I thought I'd be kind of nervous to be able to draw this. Drawing teeth. I really don't like drawing teeth. I never drew teeth. That's why I don't like drawing teeth. Because I never drew. Matter of fact, what was the one thing that made you actually start drawing? I'm asking you guys. What made you guys draw? First thing that you ever drew. What was that? You can write that in the box down below. Let me know exactly what was the first thing you ever drew. Please, I would love to know that. First thing I ever drew actually was flowers. I drew like flowers, and then I drew other multiple things like trees, and that's the first thing you technically is the easiest thing to draw. It's flowers and trees. Yep. First easiest thing to draw is flowers and trees. No joke. So if you want something that's pretty easy to do, something that's extremely easy to do, trees, flowers, because that teaches you shading. Trees teach you shading. Flowers teach you too much of that. Flowers teach you how to get the detail down right. That's flowers. Flowers teach you about detailing. That's what flowers teach you. Oh, and I'm doing. As a matter of fact, I'm learning how to cross hatch. Cross hatching is quite fun when you get used to it. And if you don't know what cross hatching is, it's just. I can show you. Box. A little quick. I'm just going to draw a little box or a big box so you can see it. Matter of fact, do that too. That's another part. It's part of the situation. Kids, there's some water up there, so there's on the wall. But yo, kids, get on the box, get on a piece of paper, draw end-to-end dots too. You can do that. Draw a little box or a big box. Little, big, doesn't matter which kind of box you want to use. And then with the pencil, do like I said earlier with the little how light it is on your hands. Do that within the paper, within the box. Within the box, not outside the box, in the box. And then as you get near the middle, draw heavier. And then after that you get out the middle, you draw lighter. And then from tip to tip, draw light, and then middle, heavy, then light. And you're only drawing one way, from one tip to the next. So, in reality, it should look like this. Here's the box. In reality, it should look like this, from tip to tip. And then cross hatching, which you go from and here's the box. Bow, 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 bow. That's the box. Tip. And then draw on the other side. Looks like an X. X, X. And you draw other side shading that way too. I'm pretty sure that's cross hatching. If I'm mistaken, right then in the box, down below saying, yeah, that's you're mistaken and that's not cross hatching, that's called something else, then by all means. And then show me and tell me what cross hatching is and show me what that is and all that other stuff like that. But all that, from what I've learned, it's pretty much just going over what you already went over when it comes to shading. Going over what it is to make it more detailed, make it more heavier, look more fuller, pretty much, and keep doing it over and over and over again until you're actually able to fill out the whole paper. Until you're able to fill out the whole area. Like I said, there's different styles of art. I've learned 2 different styles. I'm learning another style already from another friend of mine. She's teaching me her and her husband are teaching me how to draw characters. He's teaching me how to draw characters, and she's teaching me how to draw what you see here, that picture that's on my screen. She's teaching me how to draw those type of things. I know how to do it myself, but I want to learn how to do it with her technique. She has a different technique than I do, that I use. I use a totally different technique. I don't use the cross hatching like she does. She uses it a lot because that's her technique. I'm learning how to use that. learning how to use other different techniques when it comes to shading, and it comes to like with like using your pencil, this, and measuring it each end to end and stuff like that. She's teaching me how to do that. And you don't have to go from edge to edge. After a while, you can just go from top to bottom when it comes to the box. And I'm talking about the kids. When it comes to the box, you can go from top to bottom. But this is just, and you do it slowly, and not slowly, but you do it methodically and slowly enough, which is technically slowly. But you do it like that, it'll teach you how to shade deeper, darker items without actually having to blend. It literally teaches you how to do all that without actually having to blend anything. You don't have to blend nothing when you do this type of technique. You don't actually need to blend anything. Now, there's a different type of technique that's even more strenuous, more on the shading side than anything else. But yeah, the value is going to be interesting. And a lot of things is that people go to school and college and all those stuff just to learn what I'm teaching you right now. They go to that just to learn what I'm teaching you. And then after learning it, they don't even use it anymore. They don't use the knowledge that they learn. They don't teach other people that knowledge that they have learned. They don't do that. What's the point of doing it, you know? Like, why do I need to do this anyways? Because I'm doing computer design or something like that. Which, to be honest, I want to get into doing too. I want to get into doing computer design. Hands down, bro. That's going to be fun. Okay. This is how it's supposed to look. Okay. Cross-hatching. There you go. Cross-hatching. That's how it looks on the paper. Now back to the painting. Drawing. And pretty much, if you are wondering, yes, we've been doing this for about a few hours. Maybe about an hour or two. It should take you about an hour or two to get this done. And if it doesn't, and you can get it done way quicker than that, not an hour or two, but that's about an hour. If it takes you longer than that to do, or I mean quicker than that to do it, then by all means, do it.
Aren't exactly white, so let's shade a very, very light layer of graphite over each and every one of them.
Yeah, now we're doing the teeth. Because by now you should already got done with the gums. Remember I said with the lights, very, very lightly doing it over the teeth? There you go. That's the reasons why I told you to do that. I gave you that situation of saying do
From here,
extremely
we're going
lightly.
to give each tooth some subtle shading to give them more of a 3D shape. First, let's shade the crevice between each tooth, an area where light rays may have a difficult time illuminating.
Not all teeth are.
Next, let's shape the surface of each tooth to indicate where each one turns away from the light. Areas facing the light directly should remain the lightest. If you're not quite sure where to shade, visualize or look at your subject from various angles to get a better idea of the shape of each tooth. Along the outer edge, the four front teeth are the most flat, while the others are quite round and stick out in varying degrees. You can use this image and plop in your light source, wherever it may be, to work out roughly which areas will be in shadow. Let's go back to what we were drawing. Alright, so another thing to consider is teeth that are further inside the mouth may appear darker, as they may be blocked from a majority of light rays, so you may want to shade them slightly darker to account for that.
True.
Okay, using this tooth as an example, let's shade the crevice very lightly. Try to keep your shading smooth and subtle where you can. My shading is darkest near the gums and where this tooth touches the other. As I work my way out of the shadow area into the light, I'm using less pressure so the value transition appears gradual.
True.
Now the darker you shade, the deeper the crevice will look. But do be careful because overly dark shading can make teeth look stained.
True.
If your light source also comes from the left, like mine, you'll want to shade the right side of this tooth, giving it the appearance of a round surface. To make it turn away from the light source even more, you can shade it even darker, while making sure any surface that faces the light remains the lightest. Let's shade these two teeth in the same way. Although I do recommend shading teeth very lightly, I'm going to shade them much darker than I normally would, just so you can see what I'm doing more clearly.
I suggest shading them lightly. If she's doing this so where you can see it. You don't need to do that.
And then let's work on the rest of them. Start by shading the crevice between each tooth very slightly. And then shade any surface that doesn't face the light directly. Remember to darken teeth that are further inside the mouth, to give the drawing a little more depth. Now for the lower teeth. I will mainly shade the side of each tooth and the area directly behind the lid. And then for each of the jaggedy teeth in the back, I'm shading the valley between the peaks.
And pretty much she did cross hatching on the teeth. Pretty much. Which she didn't say. What she did. I'm pretty sure. Oh, she's using two. That's yeah. Toilet paper, like I said earlier.
If the teeth look as though they come forward too much, shade them a little bit darker to push them further inside the mouth. And then we're going to shade the rest of them in a similar way. Once you're done, let's blend all of the teeth so our shading looks really smooth. Grab a soft tissue and wrap it around your finger. Then carefully spread the graphite around, being very careful not to enter dark areas of your drawing. Once the tissue becomes dirty, move to a clean spot. For small areas, like the bottom row of teeth, fold your tissue over several times. And then fold it this way a few times, until you get a very pointy tip. It gets dirty very quickly, so you can rotate the tissue to a cleaner spot, or open it up and roll it again. Once each tooth looks smooth, you can move on to the next step. Okay, now for this step, you can use a regular plastic eraser. Cut it so that you get a sharp edge to work with. I want higher precision, so I'm using a kneadable eraser. I'm pinching my kneadable eraser till it's nice and flat.
I'm actually just using a regular eraser. You can use a regular eraser if you need to.
Then along the lightest area of each tooth, we're just going to create a bright highlight. We're erasing some graphite so the tooth looks really shiny. I'm folding the eraser in on itself to get a clean spot. Continue along to make all the other teeth look shiny along the lightest area of each tooth. This is the lightest area of this tooth, so I'm going to put a highlight right there. And let's do the same thing on the lower set of teeth.
Have fun with it though. But still, making sure it's correct.
Use your tissue again to blend the gums.
Take your time.
The next step is to blend the rest of the drawing using a blending stump. I'm using a homemade one. If you want to learn how to make a blending stump, click on the card in the top right of this video or in the description. I'm just using very gentle strokes to spread the graphite around, getting it to fill those tiny valleys within the paper so the drawing looks less grainy.
True. You need to do that.
Be careful when blending around the teeth that they don't become fuzzy. If you need to blend really close to a tooth, use your pencil to blend the graphite instead.
That's actually a right idea.
Continue blending areas of your drawing that look grainy. The reason I didn't use this blending stump on the teeth earlier was because it does too good of a job at spreading graphite. So in lighter areas of the drawing, it can actually cause a lot of unwanted blemishes if I'm not careful.
Sure.
I'm just using the lightest amount of pressure. I'm actually barely touching the paper right now, just going back and forth many times to slowly blend the graphite in.
You gotta do the same thing. Don't worry about it. It'll be perfectly fine. Take your time. Have fun with it. It'll come out right.
When using any type of blending tool, you may need to go over your work and remove subtle blemishes. It's an optional thing. Anyway, I'm doing that with a kneadable eraser. I roll it to a fine tip and then just dab those small blemishes away. You can also use a very sharp solid eraser.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, for sure. But my goofy self ain't gonna do none of that. You should. That's why I say steps.
The very last step is to add touch-ups. Look over your entire drawing to see if there are any areas that you can improve on. I think my drawing looks very washed out where the gums are, so I'm going to shade the gums a little bit darker. As I mentioned earlier, I did shade the teeth much darker than I wanted to make it show up better on video, so you can see what I was doing more clearly. So the last touch-up that I want to do is make all the teeth lighter. If your teeth are also too dark, you can use a kneadable eraser to lighten your drawing up. Just dab it onto the drawing and lift the graphite away gently, a little bit at a time. If you don't have a kneadable eraser, rubbing a soft tissue across the area will remove some graphite.
True.
By the way, there's a very obvious glare across the left side of my drawing, and it has been bothering me for the entire tutorial. So let me cover the light up so you can see what it looks like without all that glare. Anyway, you've reached the end of this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, and if you want to support what I do on this channel, check out my store for items like the Pencil Artist t-shirt. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more. Click the notification bell to get notified whenever a new video is released. See you in the next one.
So that pretty much is what she was teaching the whole time. So I am actually going to show you, well, I'm just going to just do a little touch up on here real quick and then show you what I'm done. how it looks how it's supposed to look. Hopefully you can show me what, matter of fact, y'all can actually show me what y'all look like too in the description below. I would love to see that. I would love to see that. And do a little touch notes. Sorry. Well, it's way harder to do touch-ups when you're only using lead pencils. Just to let you know. Now, if you have all of the tools to use, by all means, do what you got to do. But if you don't have all the tools and you're just using what I'm using, by all means, do what you gotta do. Okay. Now, this is what is supposed to look like right here. The bada bing bada boom, baby. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm probably gonna erase some of the graphite on the lip area to make it more pop out a lot more easier. So I'm gonna do that. The reasons why I'm doing that is because it looks the lip and between the lip and the mouth, it looks the same. To me, it looked the same. So that's the only thing. I don't know. Gotta change that. Maybe that looked I had to change. I'm trying to make the lips lighter than the mouth itself. Because don't forget that's where the light's coming from. And to be honest, a lot of artists, they would tell you this themselves, that even though they got the drawing done, they don't think it's completely finished because they always see imperfections within the art itself, so within the drawing itself. You see the imperfections, you know. And you just want to fix those things with some perfection. Even though sometimes you can't, but you try to. And now we're completely finished. How have you guys enjoyed this tutorial and how to draw a picture with how to do your mouth, pretty much, with gums and teeth and oh my god, you know, with all that. And hope you enjoyed that. I know it's going to be a long video, but hope you did enjoy doing that. And plus, I'm gonna link all her things down below, just to show you if you want to go and check her video out, the quicker way on how to draw something really fast. But yeah, thank you and have a wonderful day. Oh, like, subscribe to my channel if you like all my content and everything else. I'll show you how to paint. I even show you how to draw like different pictures. In 1 second. And how to actually draw and paint this. So I do tutorials. I should do a tutorial on how to paint this. Be honest. I really should do a tutorial on how to paint that. Because you don't really get a lot of tutorials on how to actually paint a picture or a painting. You really don't, actually. But I would do more videos like this because this was actually fun. For me, this was fun. So, like, subscribe, and watch my show. Peace. We love you. Peace and love.